Hey guys, this is Jay here from Wisdom Watch Report. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Obris Explorer. This is a new 200-meter diver from Obris Watch Company. And I've been wearing this one for about a week. Did an overview video recently just to give guys who wanted to place a pre-order a better idea what it looked like. But this is going to be my full review. I've been giving it some wrist time. I've been wearing it every day, keeping an eye on how well it keeps time. And overall I'm pretty impressed. Quickly, I'm just going to go over the specs of the watch. This one, it's a 42mm case, 51mm lug to lug, so it's kind of large in that respect. 20mm bracelet. This one has a helium escape valve, sapphire crystal with an interior reflective coating. Got a signed crown, 120 clicks unidirectional bezel, you can see here. It has an aluminum bezel insert, so it's typical in that sense. Signed clasp here with the Obris logo. And the bracelet on this one is almost like a watch-a-do. Very comfortable to wear if you like the look of it. Contours to the wrist really nicely. On this one too, it also sizes with screws, not pins. So that's a big bonus in my book. I really like that. I took most of the links out on mine, but you can see there it's a flathead screw. And Obris supplies you with the screwdriver to size this. They don't supply you with the screwdriver to take the bracelet off. This one, it has a flathead screw attaching the bracelet to the case. However, it is a larger screw, so you won't be supplied with the screwdriver for that. But you can probably use a regular home screwdriver. It is pretty substantial. You can fit a regular tool in there. On the wrist, this watch wears pretty large. It's 42mm, like I said. The lug to lug is really what lends itself to wearing so large. I have a 6.5 inch wrist about. You can see it's right out about the end for where I'd want to wear. We're right about here. So the lugs don't overhang, but they're any larger, they probably would have. Alright. Overall, its timekeeping has really impressed me. This watch features the Miyota 9015 movement, which a lot of the boutique diving brand companies have been using lately. I've been really impressed with it. It seems to be like a lot of people initially thought it was like a cheap throw-in versus like an ETA 2824. But in reality, it's actually better than any of the watches with the ETA that I've had. It is fully made in Japan. It's a 28,800 beats per hour. You can see there. Let me just get close up at the seconds hand. It's a very smooth seconds hand. So it is really comparable to a lot of the entry-level Swiss movements. In my opinion, I think it's better because I have a few watches with this movement now. Every one of them, their timekeeping is spot on within seconds a day. I've been wearing this for close to a week now, and this watch is about 1.5 seconds fast, and that changes throughout the day. If I go wear it again until nighttime, take the watch off and check it, it'll be about maybe a second behind. If I leave it face down at night, it'll speed up a little bit, and if I find that if I'm putting it down and it's a little fast, I put it crown up, and it'll even out. And this is right now about 1 second fast, maybe 1.5. So for a week straight, that's incredibly good for a watch at this price point of $279. I'm really impressed with that. That's why I really just, if I see a watch with either an ETA 2824 or a Miyota 9015, and a lot of companies give you a choice, I have no problem picking the Miyota. This movement has proven itself so far to be very reliable, very accurate. In the email that I got with my tracking information from Obris, they actually supply you with the movements regulation stat. They regulate their own movements there as well. This watch, I believe, they'll give you the seconds plus or minus a day, the amplitude, and the beat rate error. This watch, they said it was somewhere around, I think, 4 or 6 seconds a day, plus or minus, and a 0.2 millisecond beat rate error. So far, like I said, it's been very accurate. So I guess they just put it on the time grapher and let it run in one position and tell you. But with actual wear, it evens out and it equalizes its timekeeping. So in that respect, I'm pretty happy. The bracelet is not a hair puller for a lot of guys that might have been worried about that. It's very smooth. Each link, moves very easily, but it doesn't pull hair. Happy about that. You can see here it's a signed clasp, scissor clasp, and it has the safety latch. One thing I notice, which isn't really Obris Morgan's fault, is that you'll see those two polished marks right here. That's from when the bracelet is closed. The scissor clasp right at the tip will just kind of rub, and that little bit of friction from wearing the watch will cause two polish marks right there. That happens with most of my watches, and I'm guessing most people have that issue as well. I don't really mind that too much, but I could see where if you get the DLC version, that may bother you because you might actually rub the coating off of the inside of the bracelet in those two spots. It would be worse with PVD or like an IP coating. DLC is a little bit stronger than that, but I still don't see it holding up over time. And that's two areas right there, so that's a little downside for me, but not too big a deal. The bracelet on this one is solid end links, you can see, and a signed case back, which the text around the case back will just say Obris Morgan timepieces, Explorer, the reference number, helium escape valve, and it'll also have the movement designation. In this case, like I said, the Miyota 9015, and just taking up most of the space, the Obris Morgan logo. Obviously, this watch does have a screw-down crown. One thing I notice, doesn't really need it for a 200-meter water resistance rating. But if you look at the crown stem, if I can get a good shot of it, there is no outside gasket for the crown stem tube there. It does have a double gasket seal on the inside, but it would have been nice to see an extra gasket on the outside just for added security. Another thing I noticed is that the stem didn't look quite as long as some of my other dive watches. A lot of like field divers or field watches that have diver specs, you notice like when you screw them down, they might only give you like 1.5, maybe 2 turns. So I was worried about that with this watch, but it does screw down much longer. You get some substantial turns in before it locks down. There, see, that was about 3.5. So I'm happy with that. It does screw down very well. The crown works, has some nice grip to it, and you can see some machining on the crown there. One thing you notice right away too is the absence of crown guards. I actually like that. It adds to the style of the watch. I have enough with crown guards, plenty of watches with those. You don't see too many without, so it's like a refreshing change for my lineup at least. The bezel on this watch is 120 clicks, unidirectional. One thing most people, you'll notice right away, the flip 30 at 6 o'clock. This is a big turn off for some people. I don't really mind it too much. Most of the time I don't use my bezel. If I fiddle with it, it'll only be for a few minutes. So the 30 is facing the right way right now. It should be, in most watches, upside down, whereas if I were to flip the bezel around, it would now be facing the correct orientation. For me though, I don't mind it because it's going to stay like this almost the whole time I'm wearing it. The bezel action is very smooth on this watch too. It's not very loud. I find that adds really to the quality of the watch. You're going to turn it, it's really loud or it's really loose, got a lot of back play. It makes the watch feel really cheap. This one doesn't have that problem. I only notice a little bit of play. You can look at where the crown is right there. You can see that almost through the bezel. There's a little bit of play in that direction. Right there. But not much. That's about it. And for a boutique diver brand at this model, At this price level, I really I can't complain about that. It's negligible at best, the amount that I can move downwards. Has no back play, and it's very smooth. So I'm really happy with that. I was worried because this is the first Obris Morgan I have with a bezel. I wondered how well would it work out, and in this case, I'm pleased. The dial is set about 2.5 millimeters to 3 millimeters down into the case. It is a sapphire crystal, and the website on Obris Morgan says they use C3 lume. So a lot of guys know this C3 has got like a greenish glow in the dark hue to it. This watch doesn't have that. It's all white, so I think it was C1, not C3. The lume on it is not very good. Not happy with the lume. The hands glow for about 45 minutes to an hour. They glow much brighter than the markers do. The markers looks like it was one quick layer of lume put over. They die out, you know, pretty quickly, probably within 15 to 20 minutes. On like a high exposure to light. Low exposure, you're not even going to notice any glow at all to this. So that's one thing I'm not too happy about. I would show you a lume shot, but you wouldn't see it with the camera. It's not going to pick it up. That's really how low the lume is on this. I spoke to Justin at Obris Morgan about this. He said that they weren't really aiming for high lume on this because they didn't want the color change on the indices and the hands. They don't want you to walk around with this and have like a glow-in-the-dark color like a lot of dive watches do, because that adds to you know, how sporty it looks. This one, they said they wanted it to be more casual, where you can wear it in a workplace or while you're out. So I can see what they're saying from that. They don't want have that dark green lume, but if that were the case, they could have used you know, like BGW9 had a nice blue lume with white during the day. So that's something they could have done differently, in my opinion. And I keep turning this. You probably noticed the whole video. I do one of these the whole time. That's because the color kind of changes. It is an aluminum bezel insert. It's a matte finishing. So that almost always stays black, and it'll, you know, get darker as I turn it. But the dial will look like a charcoal gray like this. But when I turn it, that way it'll be a black. Dial color kind of changes a little bit, and this is the same issue with the blue watch. It's not even an issue, really. It's something to notice. It's much less noticeable in the black. The blue model that I have, it's like a sky blue face and a dark blue bezel. That kind of gets annoying after a while, but overall, not a big deal. And I'll just show you another wrist shot again. This here, where it's kind of large for its size. 42 millimeters, where it's more like a 44 in my opinion. And that has to do really with the lug-to-lug length. This is about the upper limit for myself. I wouldn't want to go larger than this. Alright, there you have it. That basically covers the watch. Overall, I'm really happy with it. Like I said, I have a blue model, and I don't think they're going to be leaving my collection anytime soon. I'm quite happy with this. They also, Obris Morgan, they have really good customer service. I've been emailing them back and forth, you know, just asking questions. There's a newer model coming out in a couple months called the Pradata. Depending on what that looks like, right now there's only a couple pictures out. I may purchase that one as well. And they've been very helpful answering any questions or any issues I've had with any watches. So I wouldn't hesitate to buy from them if you're on the fence. Right now I'll show you the packaging that this came with. It comes in like a Pelican style case. It's obviously it's not on par with quality like a real Pelican case, but it's still very nice for this price point. I wasn't expecting that. You could get this watch in a little cardboard box, kind of like a Seiko 5 would come in, and that would be okay in my opinion. The price point I wasn't expecting. You can see it comes with like the eggshell padding. You get an extra rubber isoframe style strap from Obris Morgan. It's not an exact copy of an isoframe, but the style is there. It does not attract lint and hair like a lot of rubber straps do, where they're like stuck all over it and you don't want to wear it. This one does not. It's not the most comfortable strap, but it's not too bad. It's a lot more supple than I would have thought. But could have been a little softer. Obviously it's not going to be on par with a real isofrane. It's about as good as like a Helson frame strap. But almost there. I'm not really going to wear this too much. I might change it up if once it gets back next year in summer, I'll put a rubber strap on again. But it's a nice bonus. They didn't have to put that in. If you like rubber straps, I think you'd be fine with this. Also comes with the instruction manual, how to wind and whatnot. Most of you probably won't even read this. You know how to wind the watch, how to screw the crown down. I'll just show you what they show you the breakdown, like the blueprints of the watch here. And just basic care for the watch. And then you also get your warranty card. Looks like they have a warranty booklet too. That part they don't fill out. The card they do fill out though. The watch comes positioned right in the middle here. I keep my extra links underneath this cushion, just in case I ever put one back in. You're also supplied with an extra screw bar. This is the screw that attaches the bracelet to the case, not a sizing screw. So if you ever taken the watch off, the bracelet off the watch, you want to put the rubber strap on or a leather strap. I don't know if you strip a screw or if you lose one, you have an extra one. And you're also given, this is the screwdriver that they supply you with to size the links. Nothing crazy, typical plastic screwdriver, but it's nice that now you don't have to bring your watch somewhere to get it sized. You just do it right on your own. So overall, I'm really happy with this watch. So Obris Morgan, they seem like a really good company to deal with. Very good customer service. Like I said, I've been going back and forth with them about their newer models and things, so if I get any updates, hopefully maybe I'll be able to get a prototype to do a review from them. But I'm really happy with this one. Each piece in each style, the black brushed, blasted, DLC, and the same for the blue, is limited to 100 pieces. Right now, they don't have any plans to have another run. I would assume if they do really well, though, and they sell out, that Obris Morgan would have another run. But right now, from what I've been told, they don't plan on doing that. So, this is the Obris Morgan Explorer. Thanks for watching.